Destiny 2's Monument of Triumph update is here, and with it comes a certain sense of finality for the series, and while it might mean the end for Destiny 2's live service as we know it, there's still so much to do in this update, and so much to explore, that it's easy to say the series went out with a bang and not a whimper. So with all this new content and all these new updates, I wanted to go over a build that I have been running in the brand new Pantheon mode ever since the update went live. This is a DPS build for Solar Hunter that makes use of two new additions to the Hunter arsenal, the brand new Solar Aspect Crackshot, and the rework for the Shards of Galanor exotic arms, combined in an explosive build that provides everything you'll need in high-end content, from large single target damage to excellent ad clear and survivability. As mentioned before, this build makes use of Crackshot, which is a brand new aspect for Solar Hunters that allows their class ability to shoot free hand cannon shots at any targets they are aiming at. Each shot provides a decent amount of scorch, with all three getting any enemy pretty close to an ignition. Landing all three shots will also cure you, and the damage of these three shots scales with your class ability stat when over 100. Along with this, we'll run Knock 'em Down, which is going to buff Blade Barrage, launching more projectiles at our target and increasing damage potential, while Radiant Final Blows with your equipped throwing knife will fully refund your melee energy. With these two aspects, we'll obviously be running Blade Barrage as our super, Gambler's Dodge as our class ability in order to gain our melee back even faster, Knife Trick for our melee, which is not only a great option for taking out weaker enemies, but can apply a heavy amount of Scorch to larger enemies, and lastly, a grenade of your choice. I went with Solar Grenade for even more Scorch, but if you are struggling to survive in more difficult content, you could easily switch this over to a healing grenade without losing too much. For fragments, we're going to run Ember of Ashes, which will increase the amount of Scorch we apply to targets, Ember of Singeing, which will recharge our class ability faster when scorching targets, Ember of Searing, which will grant us melee energy and create a fire sprite when defeating scorched targets, and lastly, Ember of Mercy, which not only provides restoration to you and nearby allies when reviving a teammate, which is really useful in high-end content, but it will also provide you with restoration when picking up a fire sprite. And again, we're going to combine all of this with Shards of Galanor. Throwing Knife Final Blows decrease the cooldown of your super. Hits and Final Blows with Blade Barrage will return super energy after the super ends. And of course, the new addition made with this update, hitting a single target with most Blade Barrage knives in a volley causes them to release a violent solar explosion, releasing scorching solar shrapnel. To push this build even further, we're going to be running the Hunter's Journal artifact, which provides a lot of perks that will not only boost our potential with our solar subclass, but also sniper rifles and auto rifles. For our tier 1 perks, you'll want to run Incendiary Rifle rounds, which will allow precision hits with a solar sniper rifle to apply Scorch to a target. Alongside this, we'll run Sustained Fire. Continually damaging combatants or healing allies with an auto rifle grants you damage resistance. Over in tier 2, we'll run Solar Fulmination. Your ignitions do increased damage in an increased radius. Radiant Orbs, which will make us radiant when picking up an Orb of Power while we have a solar subclass equipped. And lastly, targeting Autoloader. While you have an auto rifle equipped, defeating combatants reloads your equipped weapon and temporarily increases weapon damage. Awards bonus progress when dealing final blows while surrounded. Lastly, in tier 3, we'll run Sniper's Meditation. Sniper rifle hits grant stacking sniper rifle damage, stability, and reload bonuses for a short time. Heavy sniper rifle hits count as more than one. And lastly, Shield Crush, which will improve our melee recharge rate and damage when we have Woven Mail Frost armor or Overshield, and our grenade recharge rate and damage when we have Amplified or Radiant. Obviously, with Radiant being the most important one here. We'll be combining all of this with the classic Whisper of the Worm for high single target damage that will also apply a ton of Scorch to our enemies. Alongside Whisper, you'll want to run an auto rifle of your choice. This will be your main tool for dealing with ad clear, as it's a reliable way to generate ammo and take out fodder enemies, but also alongside our seasonal artifact will provide additional bonuses such as extra damage and more damage resistance. The third weapon can be whatever you like, though you should consider adjusting it based on the type of encounter you are taking this build into. While I enjoyed using Whisper the most for this build, there is some leeway on what other snipers you could use, including Cade's Retribution regeneration. For mods, starting at our helmet, you'll want to run a Siphon mod matching your Add Clear weapon. This will allow you to generate orbs of power, which is going to be very important for keeping up Radiant. Alongside this, I'd run Dynamo, and if you can fit it hands-on, both of these are going to allow you to generate super energy through your class ability or your melee. For the arms, we're going to run Heavy-Handed. This is once again to generate orbs of power, and we'll combine this with Focusing Strike to get class ability energy through melee damage, and Impact Induction for grenade energy. For the chest, just run whatever resistance mods match the activity you're playing, although I would recommend Concussive Dampener in pretty much any activity because there is so much splash damage in this game. Over on our legs, we're going to run 2 Weapon Surge mods, matching the damage type of our DPS weapon, alongside Recuperation just for a bit more survivability. Lastly, on our cloak, we're going to run Reaper to once again generate more orbs of power, Powerful Attraction to pick up those orbs, and Time Dilation to keep our armor charges lasting longer, which is going to help during DPS. All of this put together gives you a ton of options in combat and a pretty strong damage rotation during DPS. As soon as your damage phase begins, unload your Blade Barrage onto the boss in order to apply large amounts of Scorch and huge burst damage. Assuming both of your volleys hit, Shards of Galanor will also return about half of your super energy back to you, which means during a longer damage phase, even with the nerfs to super regeneration, you might be able to get in a second Blade Barrage right at the end of the damage phase. To push this build even further, I recommend focusing the super, class, and weapon stats, getting all 3 up to at least 100 and maybe a bit higher if you can manage it. And if you have any spare stats, you can put them into melee and grenade just to give them a little boost. This is the part where I'd usually recommend different armor sets and armor bonuses, but honestly so many were added in this update that I've barely scratched the surface on uncovering them for myself. So in this regard, I recommend you explore for yourself and see what works for you. If you end up trying this build out for yourself, let me know what you think. If you have any adjustments or additions that you've made to squeeze even more out of this build, let me know. I'm super excited to get back into build crafting with this new update. Destiny might be reaching its end, but I'm definitely not done playing and talking about it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Subscribe if you're interested in seeing any more build videos from me. That is the best way to stay up to date. And if you're looking for more build suggestions or people to play Destiny with, check the link in the description below to my Discord server. There I have a section for builds where I will have a written version of this one, and we have so many amazing people for you to come meet and play Destiny or Marathon with. For now though, I hope you're all having an amazing day, and I will see you later.